The Fogman.
Thomas's branch line had to be closed for maintenance. Casey was relocated to work on the Little Western branch line engines. And Thomas, Percy, and Toby were sent to work on the Misty Valley branch line. One day it was foggy, and the engines knew that they had to take great care when going along the line. Cyril the Fogman often has a very important job. He puts fog detonators to warn the engines that there's fog ahead, so that way there won't be any accidents. As Thomas steamed along, he felt one of the blasting caps blast underneath one of his wheels. "Bust my buffers," cried Thomas. "That made my axles tingle." "Cyril's done his job," said his driver. "We better be careful, or else we might have an accident." "Thank you, Cyril," called Thomas as he steamed along. One night, Mr. Topham had something special to show the engines. It was very large and strange looking. "What is it?" asked Percy. "It's a new invention. It's called a railway foghorn, and it warns you when there's fog ahead. Just like this." And he went to go turn on the foghorn. And the foghorn made loud noises. "Bust my buffers, that's loud." Percy shivered. "Too loud," huffed James. "It almost sounds like a tugboat to me," grunted Gordon. "No kidding," added Henry. Thomas then started to worry. "What will Cyril do now?" he asked Sir Topham Hatt. "He will be giving a well-earned rest. Besides, the foghorn is much more reliable." "Poor Cyril," thought Thomas to himself. "He's been retired and scrapped." The next day, Percy steamed along the Misty Valley branch line with his cars of logs. When jeepers," Percy groaned as he steamed along. "That foghorn makes my dome rattle, and it doesn't even make my axles tingle." "Even so," said his driver, "we need to be careful. There's fog ahead." But then there was trouble. The foghorn was so loud it made the ground shake, and then a landslide came, and all the rocks fell on the foghorn. As soon as the landslide was over, the foghorn was crushed. Meanwhile, Thomas was taking good time, just as the fog began to lift. "I can't see a thing," Thomas cried. And then there was some trouble. Just as he realized it, he crashed right into the landslide. "Cinders and ashes," cried Thomas. "I'm stuck." And he was. "What happened to the foghorn?" The driver went to go look at it. It appears the landslide must have crushed it, but at least no one has been hurt. "Toby will be coming down the line in a minute soon," said the fireman. If there isn't a fog warning, he might run into us and there'll be a big collision, said Thomas. Leave it to me, said a voice. It was Cyril. Thank goodness, Cyril's here. I hope he's in time, Thomas said. Meanwhile, Toby was shuttling along with Henrietta and Elsie. He then felt something glass underneath one of his wheels. Fog detonators, Toby cried. There must be fog up ahead, said the driver. We need to slow down. Toby was worried, but as he got closer, he was glad that he stopped. Otherwise, there would have been a horrible accident. Soon, Harvey and Percy arrived to help clean up the mess, and Sir Topham Hatt thanked Cyril. If it weren't for Cyril, said Thomas, Toby would have had an even worse accident than me. Instead of replacing Cyril with the foghorn, we'll replace the foghorn with Cyril. He's more reliable, said Sir Topham Hatt. Oh, thank you, sir, said Cyril. And thank you, too, said Toby. New inventions are well, said Thomas. But they don't make my axles tangle, added Percy. And everyone had to agree.